Hello, Board Game Maniacs, and thanks for joining us for another episode of Apocalyptic Saturday, where we are going to be playing Mantic Games, The Walking Dead All-Out War. What we're going to be playing today is a scenario that I downloaded off of the Mantic Games website, and you can see there it's TC1 Hospital from Hell. So this is the first mission from the terrain crate pack that you can purchase, and it goes along with this game if you want. So the terrain crate made up their own set of scenarios that you can use their terrain crate and mix it together with the Walking Dead miniatures to play a scenario. So we are playing Hospital from Hell. In this scenario, it's usually set up on a board that is 20 inches by 20 inches, and it even tells you to use a Woodbury game mat. We're not going to be doing that. We are using our own custom terrain and our game board, and it is a little bit larger than a 20 by 20. It's roughly about 2 feet by 2 feet, so it's going to make it a little bit more interesting. And you can see there's 4 buildings that are set up. And in this scenario, the Hospital from Hell, what you have to do is pretty much in each of these buildings there's a patient that is suffering from injuries, and we have to try to cure the injuries, kind of treat them with the first aid treatment so that they can heal and become members of your team to fight the zombie walkers. When I say members of your team to fight the zombie walkers, I don't necessarily mean that the patients, you get a miniature for the patient and they become involved in the fight that's going on for the Hospital from Hell. What that means is you're saving these patients, you're healing them so that they can go to your compound and fight another day. So just be aware that that is the difference. I kind of just making things up, but that's part of the game, that the patients are there, they're wounded, they're suffering injuries, and you have to try to cure them and take them to your settlement. It does look like a pretty bad broken down hospital, but it is an infirmary. It is in the zombie apocalypse, so you know, it's suited. And for the patient information is the infirmary is occupied by patients who couldn't be evacuated before the walkers overrun the area. They have managed to seal the buildings for now, but at the cost of injuring themselves, and are now counting on your rescue party to aid them before they succumb to their wounds. Each hospital bed contains 1 patient whose injuries must be treated before they perish. Each patient starts the game with 3 health. Use spare counters to keep track of their health throughout the game. You can see there I have 3 health markers on each of the 4 hospital beds. Right there. And on top of that, in the end phase, each untreated patient rolls a black die. On the blank, their condition deteriorates. That patient loses 1 health. If the patient loses all their health, replace them with a prone walker model. So pretty much, if I fail to save the patients before they lose all 3 of their health, they turn to a walker, which is very scary. It's going to add more walkers to the board. What's interesting about the patients into their beds, is a survivor can use one of their actions to try to heal one of the patients as long as they are in the same room as the patient. So they're going to roll the black die, and on the shield, the patient's been stabilized. We're going to take all the health off the board. The patient don't need to be rolled on at the end phase for each of the end phases, obviously, because they're healed. But attempting to pretty much stabilize one of the patients, you have to use an action. And if you fail the roll, they just lose 1 of their health. So you can potentially kill one of the patients before the end phase happens for trying to stabilize them. Quick note about the customization of this. In the book, it does say that to add certain cards to the event and supply cards, but we are not going to be doing that because, again, some of the cards they don't have, we kind of customize it anyhow. So we're all on the same page. We're using all the supplies that you get for the game and all the expansions that I have. And on top of that, the events I'm using from the Prelude to Woodbury, which are all just events for the solo. So that means at the end of each round, it don't say that onto the explanation of this, but we're going to add that in for part of the customized scenario. Just so when you're playing solo, the threat track in the end phase goes up by 1 every time. Hopefully I'll remember that. How do you win the game, you may ask? Good question. The game ends immediately when one of the following conditions are met. There are no more untreated patients. So if we treat all the patients before, like the threat track goes up to 18, we win the game. Or if we don't succeed to treat all the patients and the threat track goes up to 18, we lose the game. Let's see what else. More than half the patients have been replaced with walkers. So there's 4. So if 3 of them are replaced with walker, we lose the game too as well. There's a lot of stuff against all the survivors in this. Ugh. And also, one major thing is if there is a survivor from the rescue party is killed, just one of them, we lose the game. So there's a lot against us in this game. That's why I picked it, because it seemed very interesting. And it's just so much killing and mayhem and walkers going on. If you want to see us play more of The Walking Dead or the second scenario into this train crate that was created, the scenarios from Train Crate, comment below and we'll include another one into the Apocalyptic Saturday too as well. Also too as well, the players win if they can stabilize at least half the patients before the end of the game without the survivors group suffering a casualty. That's pretty much it. So if we're able to stabilize 2 of the 4 patients and none of our survivor group has perished because of trying so, we're going to win the game. Yeehaw! Let's look at the forces that I picked for the rescue party. They have to be the same faction or unallied. So pretty much what it means, if we look here, there's a faction there that is for Rick's group. So if they all have this one, they're fine, or they not have any icon, so they are unallied with the faction. And who I picked, we have 300 points to work with for the survivors. That's including their equipment and the characters. And what I picked is the Grimes family. Why not? So we have Lori Grimes here, and she has a bow hunting rifle. A Browning hunting rifle. I'm saying that backwards. I'm back and backwards. It's a range of 30 inches, which is really good. She's a tacticianer. She has a kitchen knife for melee, bandages, and first aid. We have Carl Grimes with his lucky hat, a hatchet, 8mm pistol, and bandages. He is a support. We have Rick Grimes. He's a marksman. He has his Mossberg 500 shotgun. He's got a leather jacket for armor. He got ammo reload and first aid kit. And last but not least, tagging along is their friend Alan, or just that is in the group. Don't have to be their friend, but just Alan is here. He's got the Rick's group logo. He has a riot helmet, a sledgehammer, a riot shield, and a Beretta 82 with bandages and ammo. And that is who I picked for the rescue group. Can't remember if I mentioned it already, but we start off with the threat track at 4, so everybody is on the same page. We know that, in case I did not mention that before. But that is it. So now I'm going to deploy my 4 search party survivors, and we're going to play the game. And what they stipulate in the rules for where you deploy them, it could be any table edge. So it don't matter where. They obviously can't be in a building because they're not against the building. This one is table edge, but anyhow, I'm going to deploy Willie back and we'll start this game off to go and try to survive the walker infestation and heal and protect the patients. With our deployment done, you can see that Rick Grimes and Alan are at this end of the board, close to a building and by the school bus. And if we sweep by, you can see that Lori and her son, Carl, is in the corner here so they can try to go in here to start rescuing and stabilizing the patients as well as these guys. So they're trying to work on this end of the board first, and then they're going to try to converge over here to rescue the other patients. Hopefully that tactic will work, and I'll cut down the time, but we'll see. Anyhow, let's go on and start playing this awesome game that Terrain Crate has created for The Walking Dead All at War by Mantic Games. Yeah! One other thing that I forgot to mention before we play this is every door in these buildings are locked, and it takes an action to unlock the door. Just be aware of that, because I totally forgot about that, because it did say in the scenario that the doors are all treated as locked doors at the beginning of the scenario. We now start off with the action phase. Dun, dun, dun. And we're already at threat level number 4. So the first action, I don't know who I'm going to activate first. Actually, I'm over here, so let's activate Lori first. Lori's going to sneak. And she kind of, for her first action, now she can open this door because she wants that supply crate. But the problem is when she opens the door, you got to roll a red die, and that's how many walkers are going to spawn in the room, and they are going to be spawn touching the supply crate. I don't know if Lori wants to go there first. It's just, there's walkers like all around. So, you know what? We're going to have to do it anyhow if we want some good supplies. Yeah, Lori's not taking a chance. She wants to go this. I don't know what to do. We're here. We're doing it. We're going in. So, second action, she opened the door. Now we got to see about the walkers. Let's go to the dice box. Here it is. See how many walkers are in that room? 1. So we get 1 walker and place it in contact with the supply crate. And there's the lovely walker. Just on the cusp of the doorway there is Lori looking in. That ends Lori's activation. So now, Carl is... Oh, this is tough, because if he goes to support Lori, shoots through the door, his weapon creates mayhem. Yeah, and with mayhem, there's like all walkers are going to move, so they're going to start converging onto this location. That may be a good idea, I guess. And Carl's a kid anyhow, so I'm going to play it. Carl's like, no. And he is going to... Run is going to possibly make noise. So Carl's just going to sneak, because he's going to sneak here. And he can see through the door at that walker that is there. So that was his first action. Second action, he's going to shoot. Coral, he pulls back the hammer onto his 8mm pistol. It has 2 extra red dice, but it's going to actually cause mayhem. It is reliable, and he gets 1 red for shooting anyhow, so it's going to be mayhem time. But again, Carl is not that skilled enough yet to know that, it's not going to cause any more walkers to come around. Bam! That's 2 shots, but no headshot. So now, the zombie didn't even defend whatsoever. So what the zombie does is it is hit, it's not dead, but it is laid prone. Judging from the trajectory of the bullet, boom, goes in. The walker just hits the toilet and goes down and falls. Just like that. And he is down for the count. Good job, Curl. And you did not roll any exclamation marks with your headshots, so your gun is not out of ammo. Good shooting there, Carl. Real good. That ends Carl's 2 activations. 2 actions for his first time activating, I meant. Next, the hero that's going to go is going to be Alan. And he is going to do a sneaky to there. And you can see that I just put some tokens on some doors. You should just remind me that it's locked. So he is going to unlock it for a second action. We got to roll a red die to see how many walkers are in this room. Here goes. None. Lucky. And with Alan's activation finished, we went on to Rick's. I already did it off camera. Surprise! Surprise, surprise, surprise! And he just did 2 sneaks because they did not want to create any unneeded noise. Well, noise is needed sometimes, and noise is not needed sometimes. I know what everybody is saying right now in their mind, or actually after Curl finishes activation, because he's shot. And I did say that it does create mayhem, but we didn't do anything for it. Because I actually totally forgot. So we're going to do it now. It's not, I checked around, it's not going to impact the game one bit though. But first off, create mayhem, your threat track goes up, so it's now on 5. And now every eligible walker within 10 inches of where the noise originates, so in this case, Curl, they will shamble closer to them, to where the noise is. Just to confirm that, just so you can see, it's on the back of, for like the quick reference, it says mayhem. I'll add 1 to the threat level, then all eligible walkers within 10 inches move towards the mayhem. And we're just going off with a solo play quick reference sheet right here, because we are playing solo play. So just so we're, I'm going to move the walkers to 10 inches, whoever's eligible, but I don't think anybody really is, but we will see. And then we'll be back. This is an interesting rule. So I checked everywhere. Nobody's eligible except for the dreaded Mohawk zombie. Now he has to move in a straight line. So when he's going to shamble, he's shambling is 6 inches, but you can tell he's going to hit the wall. Now, originally they would just stop, but I found in one of the other rule books, safety behind bars, and when they do this, they're going to bounce off the wall. So they bounce, and then they're just going to go the other inches that way. So that's kind of something different that I never played with this kind of rule set. But that's what I found. That if you're wondering what page that is on, it's on page 4 of. Wait a minute here. Here we go. On page 4 of Safety Behind Bars expansion. So there's kind of like an example of it right there. And just so we're all on the same page. Yeah. That was all the survivors or the rescue party activated. So now we have to go on to the event phase. So in the event phase, the first thing that you have to do, walkers will attack the closest survivor in their kill zone. So we got to see if there's any walkers that are within proximity of survivor's kill zone, and there's not, obviously, so they're not going to attack. So then we have to draw an event card. Oh boy. Here goes. Remember, it's solo. Roamers. So it don't have anything in here for like raise the threat level by whatever, and we're in the low threat. So I'll call it the low threat. Move 1 eligible walker towards the nearest survivor. That is all we have to do for that one. So 1 eligible walker closest to the nearest survivor. He already moved because of the mayhem noise, but he's kind of close, so it makes sense that he would move closer because, you know, he's on the path anyhow. So he's going to shamble 6 inches for him. So, you know, like 1... kind of like 1. Then we'll just measure the rest so we're not. Oh, he's going to be in contact. Oh boy. He's in base contact now with Lori. Uh-oh. Trouble. The next phase for this first turn is going to be the melee phase. It's followed right after the event phase. And you can see there's actually Lori is in tied up combat, melee combat with the Mohawk zombie. We've seen him in other videos. He always sticks his ugly head back out again. Always. It's like he's a cockroach. You cannot kill him. Ugh. Anyhow, so because there's melee, we have to advance the threat track. So now we are on threat number 6. This is horrible, horrible. And then it says here, split combat, the only model is on both sides. All models must fight. Resolve melee one at a time. So this is the only melee we're going to do. So does Lori want to attack or defend? Because walkers can't defend, they only can attack. Let's look at Lori's stuff first on her card to see what would be better for melee. On Lori's card, you see she got a red die for melee, red for shoot, and red for defense. She's a tacticianer. Special rule, blood ties. If Carl Grimes is in the same group, which he is, as Lori, and is within her kill zone, which he is, Lori gains red to her melee attack and defense rolls. So she gets an extra red die. So that's 2 red dice so far. And if you look here for the kitchen knife, that's what she's holding. Dual wielding sharp. So dual wielding, it means that if you have 2 equipment cards or supply cards that says dual wielding onto them, you could pick whatever one you want to attack with. You don't have to just attack with the one melee. You can have 2 melee. But anyhow, may reroll 1 die per melee attack. This stacks with the dual wield keyword. Pretty much what that means is Lori's going to have 2 red die, and she gets to reroll 1 of the die because she has sharp into her keyword. So 2 against 1. Let's see what happens. So Lori's going, whoops. Here's Lori's swing at the walker. She gets 1 hit, but she gets a reroll 1. So that's 2 hits, not a headshot, unfortunately. So the walker gets to try to block it, and he gets blank. So the walker, if he had this, he would definitely be able to block it. Just so everybody's aware. I know I've played this game on the channel before. I'm a little rusty at the rules. That's why I'm kind of going over the rules out loud, because I'm relearning them kind of as I'm going along. Plus 2 as well is after this first round is done, I'm not going to explain the rules so much, and because I don't want the video to be really long. Anyhow, so that's 2 hits to nothing. So this walker gets pushed back an inch and becomes prone. With that finished, we are on to the end phase. So at the end phase, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a black die and roll it for each walker that is prone. So 2, let's roll for Mohawk Boy first. If we get a shield, he stands up. Blank, he stays down. And he's staying down. Let's roll for Toilet Zombie now, or Toilet Walker. That kind of sounds, yeah, anyhow. Oh, Toilet Walker stands up. So, might have hit his head, but he's kind of struggling. There we go. Hit his head, but he's still into the fight. So is he, but he's just kind of still trying to bring himself the courage to get back up because Lori scares him. Now, 2 as well is in the end phase, each untreated patient rolls a black. On a blank, their condition deteriorates, the patient loses 1 health. And you all know that if the patient loses all their health, replace it with the prone walker. So we got 4 rolls, because right now they are 4 patients. So we don't want a blank. We want the symbol, which is right here, the bad symbol, because stabilize no longer needs to roll in the end phase. Oh yeah. So this one here does not need to roll in the end phase anymore. Perfect. So let's go to this one here. Does not need to roll in the end phase anymore because they are stable. Let's go to this one. And no. So they lose a health. I don't feel so good. Where's the doc? Now for the last patient. Uh-oh. I'm not feeling good at all either. I need the doctor now. My leg's starting to go numb. 1 health is gone. I read that a little wrong into the special rules for the patient, and I'll just read it again. So after the patient's roll in the end phase, if they get a blank, their health is deteriorated and you take a wound off. If they get a shield, they're stable for that round. but not for the next round. So every time we're going to have to go in the end phase, we still have to check for the ones here. So just be aware of that. That was boo-boo on my part. My bad. And last but not least, because we are playing the solo rules, we have to increase the threat level by 1. So we are already at threat level number 7. We're going to have to start trying to hold our nerve to try to drop down this threat, because once we get at 9, we're on medium nerve threat, and you can see here that Lori's going to have to take a test, and so would Carl. But Rick is good. Alan would have to make a panic check too as well. So they're going to have to start holding their nerve if they want to stay into this game. On to the second round, and Lori is going to go after this walker because her little boy is behind him. So she has to go and chase after that walker, I think. But her first thing is she has to try to hold her nerve to drop down that threat. So if she gets a shield, she can drop it down by 1. Oh, she is very, very courageous. Threat track goes down by 1 for her first action. Second action, she's going to try to hold her nerve again, because if she shoots, it's going to create mayhem and it's going to lift it back up again. So the first thing would kind of be in vain unless she would have shot first. But anyhow, second action, she's going to just hold her nerve again. But she failed. Oh well. Then that ends her activation. Carl is going to try to hold his nerve as well. You know, he's trying to do what he's seen his mama do. So again, give me a shield, baby. Yes, good job, Carl. So that goes down 1 more. So we are dropping it down good. That's all right. So I'm wondering if Carl should just, be like, Yeah, Carl's going to hold the nerve again, because we got to keep this down. I played other games and the nerve went up too high, or the threat level. Oh, look at that, Carl. You do good job. You do good job. He did a great job. So now it's down to 4. And as I was saying, I played other games, and we kind of were attacking too much, and because of that, the threat level kept rising and rising, and it just ended up ending us. Anyhow, that is the 2 of them activating. So now we are on to Ellen and Rick. Rick is going to go first. He is going to sneak his 4 inches, so he's on the table side, and now he's going to try to help care for the patient and stabilize them. Let's go to dice box. Rick is not a doctor, though. He is a police officer, so he should know a little bit of first aid. We'll see. If he gets this, then that patient is completely stabilized. We're going to remove the 3 health off of the bed, and we'll just flip the bed over so that we know that the patient's been stabilized, so I can remember in my brain, because I'll probably forget like this. But if he gets a blank, the patient's health deteriorates and they lose one of the wounds. Because Rick is trying to pretend to be a doctor when he's not. And this counts as an action. This is Rick's final action. Oh, he did it! He did it! He stabilized the patient! I'm a doctor! I'm a doctor and a cop. And there we go. The patient jumped up from the bed so fast. Stabilized or not, well, the patient is stabilized. Because, Rick don't really know how to fix him. All he did is he had some needles, some syringes full of adrenaline, and pumped them some and took off out the door. Gone, just like that. And that ends Rick's activation. And then we're on to Alan. Alan simply did 2 sneaks so that he can go buy the supplies to search it on his next turn as one of his actions. That ends all of the rescue team's actions for round number 2, and we are going to now go on to the other phases, the event phase, the melee phase, the end phase, and I'm going to keep doing that. I'll be back when something happens or is going to happen, like a combat, and you want to see it happen. So we will be back. All right, I lied. We're actually still in the same round 2, and it's the event part. I pulled the event card. I already looked at it. This is something big, so we have to read it. So, feeding frenzy. You can see we're on low threat. And right here it says all quiet or low threat. Roll a black die for each survivor engaged in melee. On a shield, the model loses 1 health point. If there are no models in melee, add 1 to the threat level. So what happens is 1 to the threat level gets added because nobody is in melee because we know that. And they're not going to fight anybody because, yeah, we're just that good right now. Yeah, but this game's probably going to kick our ass. Anyhow, continuing on. There was no melee phase for this because nobody's into the fight, but we're on to the end phase for this round, and we have to roll to see if he stands up, because I think that is the only prone walker that is there. Yes, that's the only combat that happened so far. So prone walker, shield or no shield? That is the question. Oh, shield. Just like said before, the Mohawk walker is rearing his ugly head again. He got a second win, he stands up. And as per the rules, we have to do the patients to see if they actually are going to sustain a wound or they're stable this time around. So remember, with the shield has been stabilized, blank, they suffer a wound. So let's do this one here first. Creep. Oh, stable. The patient has been stabilized, no longer needs to roll in the end phase. Stable this round. Good job. Let's go to the one up there that already has lost 1 health. Stable this time. Great job. And again, here, already lost 1 health. Oh, another one. Oh, this patient is on his way to the Hell Hospital. He's in the Hell Hospital right now, but he's on his way to becoming a walker. And the last thing to add to the end of round 2 for the end of the end phase is threat track goes back up. So now what is that? 6. It's climbing, going down, climbing, going down. Let's continue on. We were on to the phase, the action phase for the players, and I already moved them so you can see that Lori and Carl was here, but 2 walkers, too many. So they kind of decided to sneak this way, and that's where they ended up. And if we swing over to this end right here, we see Rick is out again. And the reason why is because he was here, he snuck twice to get out here. He didn't want to go this way. That door is still closed right now. But Alan, we're on Alan's activation, and for his first action, he is going to try to search that loot box. But this is interesting too as well. And the reason why it's interesting, because again, the safety behind bars expansion on page 2, the bottom right of page 2, remember that when you search a supply counter inside the building, you draw blue supply cards instead of just one, resolving them one at a time in case of incidents. So Alan's going to search, so we got to go to the dice box, roll a blue, and then the search cards, or the supply cards after that, depending on how many pips we get onto the blue die. Here goes. 2. So you get 2 search cards. Nice. Let's go to search, or the supply cards, I should say, the first one, and we have to resolve these one at a time. So the first one, ooh, tire iron, melee weapon. Add white to melee attacks. Ooh, this is might be really good for Alan. So now, one more supply card, flip it over, and it's a metal pipe bludgeoned. Nice! For bludgeon for this, I just looked it up to refresh my memory. It means that when you're attacking with melee and you got to roll a black die and you can lay them prone if you get a shield. That's really cool. So he has these 2, but I don't think he's able to carry all of them. Let's check his backpack. You can see here, he already has a lot of weapons. He can fit 1 thing into his backpack. I want to keep the sledge here to see what it does, because I use tire iron. So he's going to keep that, and he's going to put that in his pack. And this one here is just going to get discarded. Search token is gone because it's already been searched. And now Alan is going to go towards the door, his sneak, and that ends his activation. Onto the event part of it. There's nobody in melee, so we jump over, grab an event card. But before we do that, nothing, we're just going to pull it. See, 1 threat. So before we do anything else, threat level goes there. And the hunger. All quiet, we're not in. We are in low threat. Low threat. Move one eligible walker towards the nearest survivor. Whee! And that'll be it. The green mean machine right here, this walker, has moved up closer to Rick. No melee, and onto the end phase. There's no... we have to raise the threat level up one more time. Before we do that, though, we are going to do, again, stabilizing for this one, and that one. I'm really worried about him or her, but we're going to concentrate on this patient right here. Need a shield, and we get a shield. You stable. Let's go again, the one up there. Need a shield, shield. Stable. We really need a shield for this one. Please stay alive. Yes, he's stable. Celebration is short-lived, though, because threat track has gone up to 8 now. We are going into medium. And as I said before, we got 3 of them that are at medium threat level, and they're going to have to make panic checks every time they activate, which will suck. We're on the action phase again, and I'm just going to try to do first action for... You don't have to go in order as you start off with, but I'm just doing it right now. So Lori's going to go first, and she's going to hold her nerve, hold your nerve. Yes. Threat track goes down to 7. And her second action, she's going to do it again. Do it. And she does it again. So it goes down to 6. Lori's like so courageous. That ends her activation. And Curl is going to just... Carl's going to do a sneaky. See there, Carl's going to sneak there. Just to get a little further ahead from his mother. He's like, I'm getting further than you. And now for his second action, because he didn't make any noise, he's going to try to hold his nerve too, because we got to keep dropping this down. And the big Carl Meister does it. We're down to threat level number 5. Good job. Rick's got a little bit of an itchy finger on him right now, so I think for his first action, he's just going to take a shot with his shotgun and try to hit that lean, mean, green walker flesh-eating machine. And just a little note about the shotgun too as well. It is a double shot for one action. And on top of that too as well, if he's within 6 inches and gets a headshot, it's obvious he's killed. But if he's out of 6 inches and gets a headshot, it does not count, and that is because of the shotgun. But he can pick more than one target too as well, but he's not doing it. He's going to do his full 2 shots into that green lean machine. Flesh-eating, zombie-walking machine kind of thing. Let's go to the dice box and do some rolling. He's there. He's ready. So he gets 2 for the shotgun because it's a double shot, and his shooting die is white on his card. And he's within 6 inches. He's actually within 4. So even if you don't do any damage, this walker will be knocked prone because of it, because it's a shotgun. Oh, look at that. That's only 2 blanks and 1 hit. So the zombie got 1 for defense, but he's not defense only attacks. But it's blanks anyhow. So therefore, he's going to get knocked prone regardless. So he gets hit, pushed back 1 inch, and gone prone. Good shot, Rick. But that's mayhem for you, buddy. So every eligible walk within 10 inches converges onto the noise, and we raise the threat level from 5 to 6. This walker here was over there but shambled because of the mayhem noise that Rick created. So there you go. Alan's first action is going to try to hold his nerve, and then he's going to move towards the door just to be, getting ready. So first, hold your nerve. Yes. Threat track goes down to 5 again. Good job, Alan. And his second action is he's going to sneak to the door. But it takes an action to open the door, and you have the token to remind me. So therefore, he has done his action, and that is all for the search party, rescue party, whatever way you want to call them, whatever. But they're done, and we are now on to the event phase. And there's no melee you can see going on. So now we're going to have to draw an event card. Event card. Alarm remains in play. Oh, this is such a great card. All threat levels. Choose a car. If possible, it must be one that has no survivors within 6 inches. and that's pretty much any of them. The car's alarm goes off, creating mayhem instantly. The car will cause mayhem again at the start of every event phase until a survivor moves into contact with it and uses a search action to shut it off. Once the alarm has been shut off, discard this card. Excuse me. So that's awesome. It creates mayhem, so all walkers within 10 inches of that car is going to have to shamble to it. I'm going to pick this car because, you know, we got to get over there. So we're just going to put that on there just to remind us. And then every walker within 6 inches or 10 inches are going to do the shamble. So I already did that. So up there. That one there too as well is going to go 6 inches. Which is right there. So beep. I already know. And now this one here. Now this is interesting because I'm not sure. I didn't measure if that's 10 inches from the alarm for that one. So let's just check and see, shall we? So, oh yeah, 10 inches for sure. So, straight line, boom. But not in a building, so stops are moved just like that. If it was in a building, it would do a bounce, but it don't. Now, so that is it. That could work in Rick's favor because then he could try to go around that way possibly. But that is the event phase, and we'll be continuing on playing, and if something else happens, we'll come back on. For the end phase, for this round, we did move the threat track up, so we're back up to 6 for the threat track. I did roll off for all of the patients, and I got shields for all of them, luckily. So therefore, this guy, girl, patient, just called patient, is still holding on at the brink of death. Gotta go in and try to save that one. It's really, really bad. Because if we lose 3 patients, then we lose the game. But now there's only 3 patients on the board, so if we lose 2 patients, we lose the game. Also during the end phase 2 as well, we rolled a shield for the prone walker, the lean, green, mean, flesh-eating machine walker zombie, and was able to stand up. Moving on to the next round. On the next round, the heroes, they were kind of playing it as smart as they can. And just to show you what happened is Lori and Carl were here and they did a sneak and then a sneak. Now, Carl could have kind of kept it tight, but I kept it here because I want to be outside the kill zone of the walkers. Same with Lori. So Lori kind of is following behind Carl a little bit slower, but they're still in the game and they are playing it very smart. And if we swing over here, Alan opened the door for his first action and then he snuck out there, and Rick did 2 sneaks, and I checked, he is not in any of the kill zones. So because of that, we are going to go on to the event phase, and we already know because I checked that the walkers are nowhere near any of the heroes in the kill zone, so they're not going to shamble close to them. But we got to do an event card now, and this is really, really scary because I don't know what it is. That kind of screwed us over the last turn. Actually, no, it was the alarm. Oh, shoot, the alarm. We got to do the alarm too as well. So before we look at this event, we're going to have to do the alarm. And that is, it's creating mayhem. So we are going up to number 7 now for the threat track because it created mayhem. And then all eligible walkers that are in to range 10, that is not in combat, is going to move. So she's going to move up here. He is going to move straight. He's going to do a shamble, and it is 6 inches. So he's going to make it right to the car too as well, and not get into Rick's space, which is good. Now, 10 inches, yes. So now this walker is going to go straight this way, or actually try to turn so it would hit the tire right there. And there's no other one that is within the 10 inches of the alarm going off. And Rick is just leaving it because it's drawing all of the walkers that are within the 10-inch range up that way. So he's got a clear sailing path to get through to try to help one of the other patients. Pretty smart, I have to say. And we're going on to the melee phase, but there's nobody in melee and so on. So then we're going to jump over to the end phase. And the end phase, again, we're at threat track 7. We're going to go up to 8 now, just so I don't forget. And now we have to, there's no prone walker, so we don't have to roll, but we have to roll for if they are stable or not. So this patient needs a shield to be stable. No! Uh-oh. So the patient loses one of the health. That is not a good thing. That is bad. All right. Let's do that guy now, or girl, patient. Uh-oh. Loses a health too as well. This is not turning out too good for the patients. There's something going on that it may be in the air vents that has come through the filtration system, and it's causing them to lose more health. Uh-oh. So this guy might die and turn into a prone walker. We need a shield here. Oh, it's a shield! He sustains himself. Yay! That ends round number, I think it is round number 4, if I'm not mistaken. You don't really have to worry about keeping track of rounds as long as you keep going through all of your phases, and you keep an eye on this thing, because the simple fact is if this gets up here, we lose the game, as one of the stipulations that I already read. But anyhow, we're continuing on, so let's go on to the next round. On to the next round. I already activated 2 of the characters off camera because nothing really happened. Pretty much all they did is that both Alan and Rick, they did a double sneak up to here, and that is where they end their turn. Now we are on to Lori and Curl. Both of them for melee would have a red die. Lori has dual wielding and sharp, so she can re-roll it. Oh, and she gets a red because Carl, if Carl's in kill zone, but he's not going to be there. All right, so I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to activate Carl first, and he is going to sneaky, but not really sneaky. Oh, wrong side. My bad. So yeah, 4 inches will get him in base contact because you don't want to create too much noise, because it's going to come in too as well, because I want to try to get here and stabilize this patient. So he's going there for his first action. His second action, he is actually going to do a melee attack using his melee weapon hatchet. So it has amputate and dual wield. So dual wield don't have this, but amputate is going to be pretty cool, and it adds a white die to melee attack roll. So therefore, Carl is going to attack with a white die and a red die. Amputate ain't going to really work in this. It's only if you're fighting against another survivor, where if you amputated their leg by rolling a black die and you get a shield, that's if you hit them first, and it's another survivor you're attacking with. Then what would happen pretty much is that if they roll a shield, it means you cut off a leg and they're not going to be able to run for the rest of the game. But zombies don't run, the walkers don't run, they just shamble. So this is what Carl has for his attack, and it don't make noise or anything. 2 hits. Walker got an attack. 1. So it's still 1 goes through, and therefore this walker is prone. It would get pushed back, but obviously you can't get pushed back, so it gets dropped down and it becomes prone. So Carl did his job by taking out this walker temporarily so that she can go up, because it's her activation, and she is going to do a sneaky. When I say she, it is his mother. And 1 action right there. Unfortunately, can't make it right to the door. So the second action, she's probably going to, I think she needs to hold her nerve, because we are at 8 for the threat level. So yes, going to try to hold her nerve. Needs a shield to drop it down at least by 1. Oh no, she fails it. Uh-oh. This is going to be some pretty bad stuff. So that is all of our rescue team activated, and now we're on to the event phase. No melee, so just another event card. I see just another, right. Pandemonium! So the threat track goes up. Unfortunately, now we're in the medium threat. This is bad. So medium threat. Roll 2 blue die and move that many Eldritch Walkers towards an air survivor. Then, blue die walkers enter play. That sucks. Let's do it. One thing I forgot is that Carl arm is still going off. So that is creating mayhem, and that is the only other Eldritch Walker was able to move. And unfortunately, this should have been here. Oh boy, because I forgot that it creates mayhem. So moving on from there, we just got to make sure we kind of keep remembering that. that's probably a bad idea to keep that going. But now there's too many walkers. So what we have to do now is hopefully just keep that going, holding her nerve and everything, try to stabilize, and stabilize. Oh, this is looking really bad. Really, really bad. Now, continuing on. For pandemonium, let's see how many walkers are going to move. 2. So 2 elder walkers will move. After the 2 elder walkers moved, this is bad because now we have a melee that is being forced right now here and one here because she was there and she just shambled up to Alan. So that's 2 melee that are in tight quarters right now. This is not a good thing because the next step is going to be melee. But before we do that, we still have to roll a blue die, and that many eligible walkers is going to be is going to enter play. Oh, well, we're medium, aren't we? So yeah. Oh, so I'm supposed to roll 1 more of these. So 2 more. Holy cripes. I moved the other 2 because I forgot to roll the second die, like I said. So that one was here, bumped in because closest was Lori and Curl. And also too as well, this guy was here, closest was Alan, and moved up. But luckily shambled not within the combat area, but probably the kill zone. And he's going to be overnumbered or overwhelmed with 2. Now we have to roll this 1 more time. And this will be how many walkers enter play. Then blue walkers enter play. 2 more walkers. Awesome. That's all right. I'm clever. I put a walker there. Watch out the rules and say get a walker down there. So far away, no problem. But they're going to go towards the alarm, so that might not have been a smart thing to do, but too late now. And now we are on to the melee phase, which is bad. Because we have 2 of our search party heroes or survivors in melee, the threat track will go up 1 more before we resolve any melee actions. Do Lori's first. She's going to stabby with her kitchen knife. She's within the kill zone with Carl, so therefore she gets an extra red die, so that's 2 red dice that she gets. And it is sharp, so she can re-roll 1 of them. And she's obviously, this looks very familiar from last time. Oh, so 2 hits. Walker gets roll defense. Well, not defense, just attack, whatever. And nope. So still does it. And that means push back 1 inch. And prony. On to Alan's melee combat. Now with Alan, if we look over here at his card, his melee is with white. Oh no, that's Rick. My bad. There it is, yeah. His melee is white. He don't really have anything because Donna's not in play, so Alan gains red to his melee attack pool for the remainder of the game if Donna's included in the with Alan to remove the casualty during the game. Yeah, so that's not going to happen. But you can see here, he does have the sledge, and it is bulky, but he is a bruiser. Alan is a bruiser, so that's, it's going to work a little better. But he does have bludgeon too as well, so adds white melee to the attack roll. When making a smash, roll with this weapon. Add white instead of red. So again, if I'm making a smash, but I'm not going to make a smash, I don't think. Here we go, because of the bludgeon, we have to roll a black die to his level. First, we're going to resolve this, so the red is going to be for the walkers, and the white is for Alan. So Alan gets 2, and that walker, so therefore that walker, and get pushed back by 1. Now, bludgeon means you would roll the black die, and if you get that symbol, it means that the model has become prone, but it's going to be prone anyhow, because where Alan succeeded, he's going to push her back 1, and she becomes prone. That was the melee part of the round. And now we have to go to the end phase, because that is it. So we have to first see if any of these prone walkers stand up. So 1, 2, and 3. So let's roll for 1 first. Shield stands up. Nope, stays down. Second one. Oh, it stands up. Ooh. So inch away, remember, because it got pushed away 1 inch and then stood up right there. This one now. Stand up or stay prone? Stay prone. Na. And before we get, because we're in the end phase, this is going to go up to one more, so we are getting closer and closer to the high level. Now, we have to see if they are stable for this round or if they lose another health. They lose a health! This is bad. This is bad. Very bad. So that one's gone. Let's do that one. Uh-oh. Could die here. Oh, stable. Lucky. And the last one. Could die too as well. Stable. Yes. So, one health hanging on. One health hanging on. One health hanging on. And free! That ends this round. We're on to the next for the heroes' 2 actions in their action phase. For this round, Alan was here. He did a double sneak because he wasn't tied into any kind of combat or whatever. So he's going here to try to hopefully get at this patient before somebody comes and get him. And then Rick, his first action is going to open the door. So we have to roll a red die here and see how many walkers respond in the room with them. Oh, that's 2 of them. So 2 walkers. And again, the 2 walkers spawn in base contact with the supply crate, which is in the other room. So that's not going to be too bad for him, I guess. That was his first action. His second action is he's going to do a sneak, obviously. And you can see he's going to be able to get up to the bed. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention about this is in the rules, onto the printout rules, it does say that you only have to be in the room. So as one of your actions, what you could do is you can try to stabilize the patient. But the thing is I kind of changed it a bit where you had to be alongside him in the bed because your arms aren't that long that they're going to stretch. You're not like Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four and just stretch your arms out. So because of that, I just changed it so everybody's aware of that, if I didn't mention it before, which I don't think I did. And that was you had to be right beside the patient to try to stabilize. But that ends Rick's 2 activations and Alan's 2 activations. Now we're going to go to deal with this activation right here. So who's going to go first is Laurie's going there. She's going to open up the door, but we're going to have to roll dice. Again, I'm just moving that out of the way. Hopefully my big gorilla hands are not in the way. So now we've got to roll a red die to see exactly how many walkers are spawned in this little room. Hopefully it's going to be blank. No, it's 1. Ugh! When I said little room, I mean the one with the supply crate. There's already 2 there, and another one is right there now. All right, so that was Laurie's first action. Second action, don't even have to measure because I know she's definitely within range. So she's going to try to care for this patient here. Then it's going to be Curl's turn. Now, Curl he's right there. There's a prone walker. He can actually probably just like pick up the supply, but he's not going to. He's going to spend 2 actions to go in here, to go up and assist his mother. It's kind of tight here. I'm just going to fit them over there. There we go. Assist his mother for when he is going to try to bring or to restore the health of that. I'm just seeing here. Oh yeah, that'd be 1 action would have got him right there. So his second action then, because the door's already open, is he's going to try to stabilize this patient. Here goes. Carl's going to try to stabilize. I need a shield here. Yes, he is stabilized. The patient is stabilized. So therefore that patient stabilized enough to stand up and run out of the building. That ends all the actions for all of the rescue team, and then we're on to the event phase. And with the event phase, first you got to see if there's any walkers that are within the kill zone. I've never done it on camera, but there was nobody there. They played pretty smart, but you can see here, Laurie is right there. So this walker definitely is overlapping Laurie. So because of that, he would move, but there's a wall there, so he's just going to boom, he's going to hit there. If there was a door there, that would make a different story. He would have been able to go through at Laurie, but that's okay. Laurie's okay. She's okay. She's good. She's good. All right. So there's that one. And is there any other? Nope. Rick is good. Alan is good. So we're all good for that. Now we have to do an event card. Before we draw the event card, we have to deal with this stupid alarm again. So it's going to create mayhem. This walker definitely is within 10 inches, but let's just grab this. Turn it over. He's going to shamble up to 6 inches. So he's going to shamble to there. And that is that. But because of Create Mayhem, it goes up to threat level 13. So it's still in the medium so far. But who knows what this event card is going to give us. So let's grab the event card and see what happens, because it's some scary stuff here. It is too quiet. +1 to the threat level. Uh-oh. So now we are in high alert. And because we're in medium and high alert, the groans get louder. Add 2 to the threat level. Ooh, so that means 2 + 1. No, we have to add 2 more. Uh-oh. So that brings us to 16, and we're almost dead. We are in some trouble. We're on melee, but there is no melee, so we go to the end phase now. First, let's check prone walkers. We have 1 here and 1 there, so we got to see now who is not prone. So let's start off with this one right here. Nope, still prone. Last. No, still prone. Good, good, good. And now we have to deal with the patients if they remain stable, the ones that are left, or are they going to perish? Because they're only down to 1 health left. So let's do Rick's first. So we need a shield here, or it's perish time. Oh no! That means dead, 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 dead. And we put a walker in its place and prone. So, ooh, Rick just got there, but a little too late. And then we have to do that, see if that's going to be another prone walker. Oh, stable, stable. Good. Just to let everybody know, I'm glad that was stable. And the reason why is because it does say in the rules for victory conditions, the game will end if one of the 4 conditions are met. And it says more than half of the patients have been replaced with walkers. So if that died, would have been replaced, the game would have been over. But holding on for dear life. Whew, but it could still, in the end phase, ooh, this is trouble. Trouble, trouble, trouble. All right, so that is it for the end phase for this round. When I say the next end phase, it flips over. We're doomed. So now we're on to the next round, and it is the actions. Oh, before we do that, tick, tick. Uh-oh, so 1 more to threat level, and we are toast. This is such a close game. I'm really enjoying this game. I don't know why I don't play more Walking Dead. I love the game. It's awesome. Mantic Games, you did such a great job creating this, and thank you for doing it. Awesome. Let's continue on. We're on to the actions of the heroes. Now for their 2 actions for the action phase. We're going to start off with Rick. He's got high nerve rating, and we're in high, so we don't have to roll any yellow die, panic die. So he's going to hold his nerve for his first one. He does it. So I'm starting kind of getting excited here. So that's 16 it's on now instead of 17. Second action, he's going to hold his nerve again, but he fails. And that ends his actions, so Rick is done-o. Now it's Alan's turn. Alan has to first roll the yellow die because of the panic. And it'll determine if he panics or not. So looks like he's going to run. What that run symbol means is Alan is going to run 8 inches away in a straight line from the closest enemy and take no further action. So a straight line is through this way. So if we do 8 inches to Alan, then he is going to end up right here. Not too bad. It kind of worked out in his favor, but he is done with his activating. So now we're on to both Curl and Lori. Let's start off with Lori. She's a medium nerve, so we have to roll again. And she got a shh. And I think that is 1 action, and she can't do anything that makes noise or mayhem. I'll double check onto that. Just 1 moment. I was right, that's what it means. So she only has 1 action. She can't do anything that creates noise or mayhem. So she is going to hold her nerve, obviously. And she fails. She's done. Now, Carl is also medium nerve, so we're in high. We have to try to drop it. Carl got to do a panic first. Oh, I think that's Berserk. Berserk means act normally add red to any melee attacks, but you also get a +1 threat. So that means that our 60 now is up to 17. We are back up being close to almost losing the game. But now Carl has 2 actions. He is going to hold his nerve for 1, and he fails, and he's going to hold his nerve for 2, and he succeeds. So now we're back down to 16 again. And that ends both activations for Carl and Lori, as well as Rick activated, and so did Alan. So now we're onto the event phase. With the event phase, what it is that first you got to see if anybody's in melee, and we know nobody's in melee, so we're not getting any +1 to the threat track. But this is what the problem is, and that is the stupid car alarm has been sounding off, so we have to go back up to threat level 17. And then we gotta draw an event card. So if this has +1 to, or plus anything to the threat level, the game is over. Frayed nerves. You're no joking. I have frayed nerves for sure. And we are in high. So high. As medium threat, in addition, blue walkers enter play. So medium threat says 1 model with low or medium nerve of the player's choice creates mayhem. If they are no eligible models, add 1 to the threat level. The game is over, and the reason why I'm saying the game is over is pretty simple. I'm laughing, but in my mind I am screaming, because either one of these, both Alan or Lori, see I'm getting mixed up here, Lori and Carl, they have medium, so either one of the 3 you would pick and you would perform, which is, you know, to create mayhem, and when mayhem happens, your threat level goes up. So we're at 17, so mayhem is going to create 1 to the threat level, and therefore that means we're at 18, and one of the stipulations is that if you reach a threat level of 8, max threat level of 18, it means the game is over and you lose. There you have it, Board Game Maniacs. That is the end of this exciting apocalyptic Saturday using The Walking Dead All at War by Mantic Games. I hope I didn't fudge the rules too much. If so, please don't forget, comment down below, timestamp the video, refer to a page number, say like, you did this, but you should have done that instead. This game was so close. Like, I can't believe how close. I think this was the closest game I ever played in The Walking Dead All at War. Crazy craziness. Hope you enjoyed this Hospital from Hell scenario created by Terrain Crate. It is the first one. If you want to see me play more solo missions of Walking Dead All at War, comment below and let me know. And also remember, we have unlocked the community page on our YouTube channel, so where you can make comments, you can onto posts that I do, and so on and so on. So thank you very much for hanging in there, all the subscribers and the viewers, and increasing our view and subscriber count to hit that over 1,000 subscriber mark. And we're going to continue on. We may even be higher, over 1,030 or more when this video comes out. I'm not exactly sure when it's being released. Actually, I do know. It is going to be the April month, and it's going to be the Apocalyptic Saturday. So I do know that it's going to be the first Saturday of the month. So right now when I'm shooting it, it is in March still. Very, very close. And we're just going to hopefully get more subscribers. And if you didn't subscribe, I don't know why you wouldn't. This channel is awesome. We are awesome here at Board Game Maniacs. And until next time, Board Game Maniacs, play some fun, kill some zombies, you know, try to save the world in an apocalyptic setting, but most importantly of all, and that is, be a maniac. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to keep up to date with Board Game Maniacs, click on the like and subscribe button to be notified when more videos come available. If you want to become an official sponsor of Board Game Maniacs, go to patreon.com/BoardGameManiacs. Or you can go to streamlabs.com/BoardGameManiacs1. That's right, and you can donate to help keep the lights on, keep food in our bellies, and play more games. We'll purchase more games, more equipment to make Board Game Maniacs evolve and get bigger and larger because of you, the viewers. I thank you from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head for all of your support. And until next time, Board Game Maniacs, be a maniac.